I mean, I don't want a bunch of these just laying around. Like, what's that gonna serve? Actually, that's probably a good TIG torch holder. I might repurpose that. We'll get to that point. But yeah, I mean, look at this thing. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're not working on the truck, we're not working on the Camaro. We're actually gonna be doing something a little bit different, and that is we're gonna be practicing our welding skills. It's called a dummy bomb kit, and this is from Overkill Racing in Chassis. I got this kit from them. This is strictly just a welding practice kit, and I also got this DOM tubing. It's a 45 cut and then a 90 cut that I will be attempting to weld. Oh man, I can't even get this to stay. There you go. So end result, it should look like that, and that's just to practice my round corners and stuff like that. So all of this will be open edge welding, just like kind of like the picture that you can see right now. So it's actually a piggy bank. I thought it was kind of cool. Some of the welding practice kits, they're just like circles or loops or some weird crazy design that has no purpose to it. So I like this kit that there's actually a purpose to it, so I can actually use this as a little piggy bank or give it away or whatever the case may be. So you guys already know we got a new awesome sticker where we're gonna go put this bad boy. Oh, that was one-handed. Nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the link to their website and to where I got the kit from in the description below, so you guys can go ahead and get a kit for yourself if you want to practice welding. So this is a drawing that it came with, and it kind of shows you all the pieces and parts that you have with the kit. So I'm going to try to figure out which way I want to start. If I want to start from the top, the top portion of it, or the bottom portion first, and go from there. But Overkill claims that you can go ahead and weld this as it comes, so just from shipping, which is really nice, so you don't have to have any extra tools or anything like that. But I'm going to go ahead, just for my sake and for my practice, I'm going to take my little scuff pad and scuff all the corners and everything like that, sand it all down, make sure it's super clean, and then go ahead and wipe everything down with some non-chlorinated brake clean. That's important. Don't use chlorinated brake clean, because when you weld on it, create phosgene gas and take like 20 years off your life. Just don't do that. Make sure it's non-chlorinated. Well, got the top all welded up. Not really welded up, just tacked up actually. But yeah, I'll tell you what, guys, this was really like challenging my brain today. Like, my brain hurts from trying to figure out how to make this kind of hold together and like stay in the same shape. And what I'm talking about is like, all this is kind of, it's all fit like together, like it fits together perfectly, like you kind of line stuff up. But then when you go to weld or anything, if something's off just a little bit, like if I welded these two together and then I put these two on it, and the gap, they must have either expanded or contracted when I welded it. It probably expanded, so they didn't line up at all on these two. So I had to break that weld, regrind it, and then try to weld it either a little bit closer or have something straight against it. So I do have an actual straight edge that I tried using. That's where I got this Sharpie mark from. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but a combination of a bunch of not levels, magnets, some files. Got my freaking construction square out there. I mean, it's welded up now, or tacked up. Keep saying welded up, it's not welded up, it's tacked up. So I think now what I'm gonna do is actually stand it up like this, make sure it's flat, and then go ahead and put the first body piece on, and just make sure that, we have a perfect 90. And I can do that with my square, right? Which is actually, it's pretty good. And then the magnet as well will help hold it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to knock out the body. I'll probably do one piece at a time. I thought I was going to be able to do pieces like this, just one big piece. Same thing with the body of it, the main body, and then the lower portion. But in order to get everything to fit, at least for my skill set, I'm going to have to do it one piece at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and get this situated, get this part tacked up, and then just continue to go around, make sure I got the body straight. And that way, hopefully everything stays nice and straight, or at least it's lined up. Update time. Got the body all tacked on there. I tacked it from the inside on 3 pieces, and then the 1 piece I just tacked it in this corner because it wanted to kind of pull up, and then on this side as well. So the body's tacked up. I do have a gap right here. I'm not sure how that happened. Probably when I was pushing on the other piece, I probably should have tacked this together as well. I didn't want to tack the outside, or at least the bottom portion of it. That way I have more room to kind of, you know, mess with all the other pieces, because there's still quite a few more pieces. So I wanted to kind of keep it loose. That way if I need to either pull it out or push it in, I had plenty of room to. So not a big deal. We'll go ahead and fix that here in a minute. I'll try to get the bottom portion on and then move on to the legs and the supports, and then we can start welding this thing up. All right, you guys, it's together. It's not fully welded, but it is together. So I got everything tacked up. I got some of it started welding. Just kind of jumped the gun and started welding it up. But yeah, everything's tacked together. Honestly, the hardest part was making all these things line up. So it's not the most perfect square. It's pretty good though. It's pretty good. I know I probably could have taken my time a little bit more and, you know, made it a little bit better, but hey, it's pretty good and I like it. So there's a couple different techniques of welding that I did. So I think this one was the first. This is like your general kind of whip and pause type deal. So I had to stop in the middle because there was a tack weld there. I didn't want to go over it and make a huge nasty hump. So that weld came out really good. That was on the Smart MIG. And then I turned Smart MIG off and did the same thing. I actually turned the voltage and wire speed down just a hair, and you can kind of see it's a little bit more raised up than the previous section, so that's a little bit more penetrated than this is, but still came out pretty good. Then I went with the E, basically like the cursive E, like you're just like a big, you're not really big, but you know, you make a cursive E, and I did that on the lower setting on the non-Smart MIG setting. Still came out pretty good. All the welds look pretty decent. And then this was on the Smart MIG setting. I just came from the bottom to the top, and it came out freaking absolutely beautiful. So I've been just playing around with the machine, kind of turning the voltage or the wire speed feed up and down, kind of seeing what I like, because this is the whole purpose of this kind of little build, is just to see what's going on. I don't know what happened there. Look, some porosity right there. But you know, all the welds are coming out pretty good. This one not so much. I think this was the cursive E, and I think I might have just been rushing or something, but it didn't come out as good as the rest. And then same thing on the top, just different welds every time. You know, it's come out really good. And then here I didn't pause over the tack weld, and you can see it's kind of bumpy. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue welding this thing up, and then once it's done, I'll show you guys the final product. Well, you guys, I've definitely seen better welding, but I've absolutely seen worse. So I think it came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with my skill set so far. Like, that one's pretty good. I actually really like that one. This thing is smoking hot right now. I can literally feel the heat radiating off of it. So let this cool up, and I'm probably just gonna hit it with some clear coat. I'm not gonna grind anything down. Like, had some porosity issue right there. I don't know if it's from the welder or from me moving too much or too little or something like that. So like I said, you know, I'm not a welder, still learning for sure, but yeah, definitely get some good practice. And now I got some cool freaking dummy bomb thing, piggy bank, whatever. I think it's rad. I love it. So comment down below, guys, if you saw something that I was doing wrong, or have any type of tips or tricks to help me out, you know, because this will help us out on the car and stuff like that, just whatever we decide to build. So I'm probably going to order another one of these, just so I'm ready to TIG weld. I can actually TIG weld, I know the gaps will be kind of big, but that's fine for TIG welding because it'll teach me how to fill gaps and stuff like that. So, you know, we plan on doing the hot and cold side on this car, the parachute mount, pretty much everything but the cage work, you know, safety wise. But, you know, eventually we would like to get to that skill to where if we do get another project car and we decide to put a cage in it, we'll do the cage ourselves instead of paying someone else to do it. So, in other news though, this thing is supposed to be leaving next week. So talked to the fab guy again. The car that's in our spot is supposed to be leaving next week. He kind of cut the guy off from adding more stuff to it for next time. So he said bring it back when you got it all wired and stuff like that. So which is pretty cool. It's nice of him to try to fit us in there to, you know, get some work. But yeah, I mean, hopefully this thing's leaving next week, you know, and then we come back and it's got a full cage. So that's going to be it for this episode, you guys. You know, I really hope that you guys go check out Overkill Racing and Chassis. You can go pick you up one of these sets or some of their DOM tubing. They got chromoly stuff so you can TIG weld. They got MIG weld stuff like I got. So I think it's pretty sweet that people are actually making stuff like this because, you know, I mean, look how freaking cool this is. Like, I mean, no offense to this thing, but I mean, I don't want a bunch of these just laying around. Like, what's that gonna serve? Actually, that's probably a good TIG torch holder. I might repurpose that. We'll get to that point. But yeah, I mean, look at this thing. I know it's kind of bulky, but that's a lot of welding. And then, you know, it's a lot of skill that you're gonna have to use. And honestly, not being a fabricator, I wasn't even sure how to start. So I had a whole bunch of stuff, whole bunch of tools out, and trying to figure it out as I went. You know, I tacked one section up, found out it was completely wrong angle and didn't fit. So I had to break it, cut it clean, and redo it again. And, you know, the second time around, I actually came around and got it figured out. So there's definitely some things I would have changed or would have done differently, but I think the process that I used to get it done worked out pretty well. So like I said, guys, comment down below what you think. Like always, you guys, thanks for watching, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and that like button. Comment down below, get in touch with us, you know the deal.